What's up, everybody? Welcome to Power Hour with me and Giles Tiger Thomas, and we are fired up. The Mr. Olympia contest, the Olympia weekend, is now just a couple days away. We're recording this on a Tuesday. All that action starts on Friday. Giles, there was a huge story. We're going to start with the Mike Sommerfeld controversy because I have done zero mention or coverage of it in any of my videos, but this blew up for some reason like just about 4 days ago, and it was all over. I was one of the only people that didn't do a video about it, but let's play this first. So this was all these old clips of Mike are popping up now. This was one of him talking to Dennis James about his height. This was 4 years ago. So here's what he said back.
Zwischen wiegen in der Classic 88 Kilo oder so, also offiziell 1,73, aber eigentlich 1,70.
Okay, so at that point, he was saying he was 173. I've taken the liberty of putting some of these. So 173. So I've seen him. People say he's 5'7" or even shorter. We'll get to that in a second, which would make him 170 centimeters. That's what he just said he was, right? In that video.
Yep.
But then he said to Dennis James, this was 4 years ago, that he was claiming to be 173, I believe, which is the next one up, like 172. I messed up. It should say centimeters, not kilograms there. However, he's been competing, we're going to find out, at the weight cap for somebody who's over 5'9", meaning they're measuring him at over 5'9". This has gone all over the place too. This is them getting his height. I think this is last year's Olympia.
Oh, shit.
And that is a lot of hair. Look at all that hair.
Yeah.
I mean, the thumbnail, people have done these AI renditions I put in the thumbnail that show what his head would look like without all that hair. It's a good inch, maybe closer to 2 inches of hair. Good Lord, it just goes on. And I'm going to play one final clip. This is probably the most damning. He was on the Cutler cast with Jay Cutler and manager Matt just a couple days ago. And this is from a short video that Ivan Bodybuilding, another Blackstone Labs guy, does great work. Ivan Bodybuilding put this together, but I want to play this last clip before we start talking.
What's your weight cap in Classic?
Secret.
No, weight
What's
cap.
your cap?
What's your cap? Now, how much do you weigh?
How much can you weigh for your
Yeah,
height?
what's the cap in your height?
Secret. Well, no, it's public. What is it? What is the cap in men's?
It's 212.
In order for his weight cap to be 212 pounds, his height needs to be at least 5'9". After comparing him to Jay Cutler, who is supposed to be 5'9", and comparing him to Keon Pearson, who is supposed to be 5'5", also Derek Lunsford, who is 5'5", and this bodybuilder right here, who is also 5'5", next to Bekrus Tabani, who is 5'9". You guys tell me, what do you think? What is Mike's actual weight, and how the hell is he even competing in Classic Physique?
It's not looking good, Giles. It's not looking good for Mike at this point as far as I don't know how tall he really is, but based on everything we just saw, he's not 5'9". There's no way. I mean, I remember I've only met him. Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, this is not good. I mean, like I said, I was actually on a different podcast last week, and they were asking me about it, and I said, to be honest, I've not really paid much attention to it. I'm not really that interested. But then I started seeing all mostly Brazilian Instagram accounts, and I'll be honest, I didn't pay that much attention to him at first because I thought, okay, it's Brazilian. They're trying to favor Ramon. They're trying to get him pulled out of the Olympia, whatever. But I didn't realize quite how bad it was. I saw the Dennis James clip before, and he said I'm 170, but I'd say I'm 173. And so that would make him 212. But I actually saw this last week, and I thought at the end of last week, and I thought, what I'm guessing he's going to be doing now, he's going to prepare for a worst case scenario, because I think it was the next cap down was 204, which, I mean, 8 pound, if he weighed in and they measured him in and he was like 211 or something, there's nothing you can do in a couple of hours. You can't lose that much, 7-8 pounds. But if he's got a heads up a week out, then it's more likely that you can get 8 pound off. So I'm guessing, I would predict that he weighs in at about 203, 204. Thing is, I actually worry for the guy's health as well. When you come in at that kind of drop, when you're already, because his cheeks are already sunken in, he's already rock hard. I've seen the pictures, I've seen the updates. He looks sensational. But thing is, if he has kind of technically cheated, then this kind of, because it's always been a bit of a mystery around Mike Sommerfeld. Why has he got twice as much thickness as everyone else? Why does he look like a 212, not a classic? It would really, really explain all that. So, I mean, you can see there with the hair, there's a good couple of inches of hair there at least. But the thing is, if they're doing it with him, then they're probably doing it with other athletes as well. So I think we're going to have a big reset next week. And I'm glad that the email went out where they said they were remeasuring everyone. I know that's supposed to be kept secret, but, because thing is, I think we do need a bit of a reset, and certainly would help whittle down the numbers for the Olympia, because if Mike's kind of guilty of manipulating, the end result, then I'm guaranteed other athletes are as well. So right now, Ron, I'm very, very hardline with stuff like this. If he's been knowingly, and it is cheating, let's be honest, it is cheating, because you're trying to get extra body weight, which will, at the end of the day, I know it's classic, it's kind of not technically bodybuilding, but it will, and it can give an advantage over the other athletes, mate. So I bet he's sweating right now, literally in both senses of the word. But I think this could be quite a big storyline, because imagine if he gets in and they say you're this height, and even if he comes down to 204, what if he's the height category below, and it's still too much? The favorite for the Olympia win is going to have to pull out of the show, mate.
Yeah, some people who are uninformed, ignorant, they don't know any better. They say, well, you could jump in at 212. No, you can't. You can't jump into another division at the Olympia. It doesn't work that way. So if he misses his weight, he's out of the Olympia. He's not competing in the Olympia. He's going to have to find some other show to do. He could do 212 at any of the post-Olympia shows if he wants. I'm sure they'd love to have him. But so if he's been competing at 212, which means he is over 5'9" by their measurements. We're thinking he's going to try to get down to 204, which is 8 pounds. But what if he's as short as it would seem he might be compared to all those? He was standing next to Lunsford. I mean, I understand they're not exactly, their heads weren't level, but I think Derek was a little bit in front. It's hard to say, but still. Well, here's a good one. Here's him next to Logan. This is another thing from Ivan's video. So Logan Franklin he's 5'11" or 6 foot. Let's say he's 6 foot. Mike looks significantly shorter there. It looks that's more than a 3-inch difference. So we're going to find out. I mean, there's no hiding anymore. If he's going to have his height, they're going to push that thing down. They're going to squash his hair, and we're going to find out how tall he really is. But geez, if he ends up being under 5'8", if he's, so 204 was between 5'8" and 5'9". That allows him to be 204. However, if he's anything under 5'8", up to and including 5'8", he's going to have to get down to 197, 89.4 kilograms. I mean, if he was planning on being 212, and now he might have to be 197, that's 15 pounds. Wow, that is a lot of weight to have to shed. And yeah, you talk about health. Yeah.
And you know what kind of lengths these athletes will go to. If it is, say he gets down to 204 and it turns out he's got to be, 197?
Yeah.
You know the kind of things that athletes will do to get down in weight. I mean, we've had deaths before. We've had and also like the stress as well. I mean, I've been looking at his comments on his Insta. I mean, I'll be honest, some of them I have got quite a dark sense of humor. So I've been reading some of the comments, and some of the gifs and stuff I've seen on his comments. I mean, they're bloody funny. And some of the AI stuff I've been seeing, the memes and everything. I mean, it is funny, but you know what? It's actually not funny when it comes to it, because you think about how, this Olympia, and the thing is, it's not just, if it's him, just say, for example, he is found to be caught out, and obviously, because we all know our own heights, and especially when you're in a category that requires you to know your height, there's no kind of making excuses for it. But it's not just the competitors that are at fault; it's the people taking the measuring.
Yeah, Yeah, I just want to add, we've both known Neil for many years. This brings me no joy to report on this, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this. It'd be a glaring error of omission because this is big news.
Correct.
Classic is a major division. It's a growing division. It's so popular, and this is the top story right now. So any athletes who have been skating by with big hair, I mean, Breon's another guy that comes to mind. Breon's got a lot of hair. The
thing is, Ron, when these guys are getting measured in, there's going to be all eyes on those. Whoever's in that room is going to be paying very, very close attention. So there's no, oh, look over there, and then we'll get the measure and write it down. I mean, it's going to be like all eyes are going to be on that height scale. And the thing is, somebody posted on Instagram yesterday. It says, Logan and Ruff might be the only two left on stage because they believe that they're the only two that are, the top guys that are actually not lying about their height and weight. So it might not just be Sommerfeld that comes out, because I there's no sort of thing is, if bodybuilding wants to be taken seriously as a sport, you have to have rules in place. Remember, I was watching a documentary a few months ago about Linford Christie. Do you remember the 100-meter sprinter, Linford Christie?
I remember the name, yeah.
Yeah, well, he jumped the gun, I think it was twice. He jumped the gun twice, like by a split second at the Olympics. And they disqualified him. And he was probably on track to win with his timings and everything. So then he had to wait another 4 years before he could have another crack at the Olympics. So bodybuilding, if it be taken seriously as a sport, if you're going to have these rules in place, then you must follow them. You can't have a 220 guy in 212, you're 212, mate. It's these rules have to be maintained, and they have to be, because otherwise he does have an unfair advantage over the other competitors. So I'm going to call this next weekend, for the Classic, I'm going to call it the big reset, because we might see some top names not actually make it to the stage, and think about what that will do to their careers.
I would just feel awful. I mean, but it's I don't want to say it's their own fault, because like you said, the officials who've been measuring them, they have to take some sort of responsibility for this, because they're the ones who did the official measurement. So if they were letting these guys get by with bigger hair or whatever, another thing they said is Sommerfeld's got so much gel in his hair, the hair, you could push down on it all day. You could probably hit it with a hammer, it wouldn't move. I mean, I have stuff I put in my hair, spiking glue. This stuff's like a helmet when you put enough of it in there. But I think they're going to have to do I don't know if they plan on doing the heights and weights publicly, or at least with media present, but I feel like they're sort of obligated to now, because if they don't, everyone's going to suspect, well, they just let Mike skate by, they let this guy skate by. It's just going to be especially fans of, I'm not going to put them on the spot, but the Brazilian fans, if they see that Mike was allowed to compete at 212 again, and there were no media present, they're going to assume there was some kind of funny business going on. And their guy Ramon's been struggling to make weight for the past couple of years too. So yeah, I mean, yes. Have you heard anything about the media being present during that? Mm-hmm. Have you heard anything about the media being allowed to witness the Classic guys being heighted and weighted?
I don't know, but there should be a certain amount of people in there that care enough to pay close attention, which I'm sure there will be, if you know what I mean. That's my point. Because imagine if he wins and then they find out. I think that's what they have to do it properly, because if he ends up winning and then you find out, you're gonna it's like bloody like when Ben Johnson you've found positive Winstrol. All your hard work gets undone. So, and thing is, it sounds like potentially that it's not just like half a centimeter out, it's like a good few inches, So, if this happened, then I don't understand how they thought they could have got away with it, mate.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, the first time I saw him, especially last year when he took second in Bumstead, I just couldn't understand how he was able to make weight. To me, he looked so big for a Classic guy, so much muscle mass, it just bogged my mind. And I asked him, he's a nice guy. I interviewed him, it's been at least 6 months now. and I can't even remember what his response was, but he probably deflected the question a little bit. But it doesn't make sense because that's Classic Physique was created. These weight caps, which have gone up twice since they started the division nine years ago, they've bumped it up, but it's still not good enough. A lot of these guys want to be as big as they possibly can while still being in condition, which is that's open bodybuilding. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but Juan, remember what you said a few weeks ago? You said that you thought that if Sommerfeld went into the 212 Olympia, he'd be first call out in top 5.
Yes. Yeah. I do believe
so what does that tell you? It's like, the thing is, I have to have faith that even if he did compete and if he did make it on stage, that it's still going to be judged as classic, not bodybuilding. Because I remember Pittsburgh and New York, I said, if it's judged as bodybuilding, Josema will beat Terrence. But if it's judged as classic, Terrence wins. So I have to have faith that it's going to be judged, because I look there and I think I see a bodybuilder, I see a 212 guy posing very classically, but for me, he's not even proper classic, mate. Yeah. So, and the thing is, like, you put him next to guys like Logan or Terrence, he looks like he's got twice the amount of muscle, mate.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting, and I think they're going to be whoever's doing the weights and the measures or the heights and the weights. You know, all eyes are going to be on them, and they're not going to be able to do anything underhanded or shady. They're going to have to really push down that measuring stick on the top of the heads. Otherwise, yeah.
I think they should live stream it.
Oh, I agree. That's actually a great idea.
I think there should be several cameras on that. One zoomed right in on the measuring stick. There should be one. The thing is, everyone's going to be watching. Like there, you watch there. Like Tamer's not paying attention. There's a couple of people paying attention, like 2 people that I can see, plus this cameraman. So there's maybe 3, 4, 5 people paying any sort of attention. But now you've just drawn so much attention to this situation. Everyone's going to be watching. So, I mean, it could be scandalous. It could be really big talking point. And I hope it doesn't overshadow what else is going on at the Olympia. It's the Olympia. And the thing is, like, no one wants to see guys being booted off stage, and not allowed to get on stage or to be called a cheat or anything like that. No one wants to see that. We want to see how Sommerfeld, Ramon, Terrence, and all these guys, Josema, all these guys shake up. Because say, like, Sommerfeld and another gets kicked out, then Terrence wins or Ramon wins, they're going to be like, yeah, but it's a hollow victory because so-and-so didn't turn up. It's we'll put an asterisk next to that one. So, I mean, I'd love to see Terrence win against all these guys, because I think he is true classic. The presentation, the posing, the symmetry, the way that he's. To me, he's just going to look small next to Sommerfeld, mate.
I mean, I can already see, looking at him now, the thickness is a different level, several levels below what we see with Sommerfeld. But what is classic? Is classic's not supposed to be about size. Is a factor. It's not like you shouldn't have any size, but it's not the overriding factor. It's not as important, say, as it is in open bodybuilding and 212 bodybuilding, where the bigger men tend to dominate. But still, yeah, I mean, Terrence is probably he's my logical pick. If Sommerfeld gets disqualified, or if he ends up having to get down to 197, I don't know what him and Neil are doing right now. Are they contingency plans? I'm sure they're really figuring out what are they really going to measure me at? How tall am I really? And that's what they're going to base the weight that they're shooting for. And they don't have much time. Today's Tuesday. I think they weigh these guys. I think they do that all on Thursday.
Yeah.
So there's not much time to lose a lot of weight if that needs to be done.
Ron, I'm guessing. I'll be honest. I've got Neil's number, and I speak to Neil quite frequently. But I've deliberately stayed away from messaging him or calling him, because I don't want to put him in that position where he feels, because he's always honest with me about stuff. Various athletes. He'll tell me stuff that I'm guessing sometimes he doesn't want to be shared with anybody else, or he'll send me pictures and say don't. And he doesn't even need to say, don't show this to anyone. So I didn't want to make that kind of reach out to him for that reason, because it's kind of a negative thing. So But I'm guessing as soon as I saw that last weekend, I thought they're gonna try and pull down to 204 just in case. Because I think you've got to prepare for a worst case scenario. I think it's the worst case scenario. Sadly, ironically, the worst case scenario might be that it needs to be lower than 204. So it all hinges upon that bloody that weigh-in and height-in, or what do you want to call it, the height measuring, because that's when we're going to find out what's really going on, and not just with Mike, but with other athletes as well.
Yeah. Well, I guess we should roll into predictions, but we want to look at how some of these guys are shaping up too. And since we're on Classic, let's just be crazy and start with Classic. So the other guy who's in contention for the title, he's been runner-up. We just talked about him, Ramon Rocha Quiros is his actual name, guys. He actually has a real name. These updates are in the dark. I don't know why it's so dark in this place. That was 2 weeks ago. They're all in Vegas now, obviously. Your Instagram is flooded with gym shots of these guys at this point. But Ramon is looking pretty damn fantastic too. Does he have a chance against Ruffin, against Mike, if Mike makes weight?
Yes, I mean, my top three is Ruffin, Sommerfeld, and who said Erzben, and Mike. So I see that. I don't see anyone, unless one of those three guys really messes up. I see that as the absolute solid top three. The only thing with Ramon is he can be hit and miss, as he's proven. I saw some posts a few weeks ago saying, look how he's improved this and he's improved that. He looks amazing. But the thing is, he's got to make weight. And sometimes, like Wesley last year, 2 weeks out when he did that guest posing in Germany, he looked like he'd improved certain body parts. He looked full round. But then when he crashes down into the weight cap, they can lose everything that they've gained that you thought looked amazing 6 weeks ago. So he's going to look as good as he's always looked. And of course, he's absolutely a contender. But because I'll be honest, I didn't really see the hype around Ramon until I saw him at the 2022 Olympia. We were there and he walked out and I kind of thought, I kind of get it. He is really good, actually. When you see him in the flesh, he's even more impressive. And because sometimes you need to see what the hype is. And then when you see them in person, sometimes it shows and sometimes it doesn't. But with Ramon, it really, really did. So he's really good. And I think he's obviously a threat for the title. I really want to see him. I want to see him next to Ruffin.
I wonder how Breon's going to do. Breon I don't think he's out of the top 5 ever yet in all these years. That's old. That's really
he's been in every year since it started, 2016.
Yeah, and I don't think he's ever been out of the top 5. So this was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Look at that. That is about 6 inches of hair on top of Breon's head. It is.
His hair's getting squished a lot.
I mean, I don't know. They're going to have to get some industrial strength something. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be a challenge. I don't envy the task of whoever does this because everyone's going to be saying push until they crack someone's skull open with that damn stick.
No, you have somebody there, you have several cameras on it, and you make sure it's done properly till it touches the top of their bloody head. There's no messing around. It's quite simple. It's actually very, very simple. To me, it's as simple as looking down and seeing what the weight is.
True. I mean, because I remember I actually more than on one occasion when I was covering shows for MD and I would go to the athletes' meetings, I would sit there and live stream the weigh-ins, the heights, all that, and they never stopped me. They never pushed me away. They said, "Get out of here! Don't show that." I'd love to see that again. If they don't live stream it, I don't think they've ever live streamed an athletes meeting before.
But also, if some of them are like over height, then they're going to probably want to look. The Pro League and everything is probably, and the Olympia Committee are probably going to want to look back and see who took those heights. Because I wouldn't want to be in that position. If I took the height of, say, Sommerfeld last year and the year before and so and this athlete and that athlete, I'm not just trying to single out Sommerfeld. Like I'd be really sweating now if because I would expect a call to say, Giles, you measured him as this height and he's really not that height. What the hell is going on? Because at the end of the day, they're doing that for a reason. Because the thing is, rules have got to be rules. Rules are rules, mate, and you've got to enforce them. Otherwise, what is the point? What is it? It's just it's just pointless.
It's a free for all. So
yeah, exactly. It's just it ridicules the sport and it ridicules all the athletes that have got their height and weight properly done.
Yeah. So another guy I think has got a very, very strong chance of cracking. He was 6th place last year when he was only, I think he had just turned 23 that week or something. And I don't think he's even 24 yet. Jose Manuel Munoz from Spain. The conditioning alone, his back is one of the greatest backs in all of Classic Physique for sure. I don't see this guy being out of the top 5 this year.
I've got him 4th.
4th, okay.
Yeah, I've got him 4th. And if he doesn't make top 5, I really hope he goes back to open, mate.
Really? Wow. Okay. I mean, I like his physique in Classic. I mean, it's great that we have so many guys moving to open, but let's keep some people in Classic for God's sake. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Ron, mate. The amount of, I mean, you could have a different top 5 at the Olympia every single year, and the standard would all be high. You know, there's the depth of the Classic is just incredible. I mean, every single week I'm seeing new guys that are just. I saw the guy that won that show last weekend in I forget where it was, but he just completely blew my mind. The guy with a really nice vacuum, and he copied Terrence's routine. But I mean, a guy like that, I mean, he just looked amazing.
And look at the skull. You could see that. I don't know what the name of that bone is right there. The cheekbone is jutting so prominently from Jose's face right there. And look at you could stick your fist in that gap between them. Unbelievable. So this guy gets super shredded.
I think I've got him. I think he'll slip in around 4th because he's not going to miss with his condition. The idea of this guy coming in anywhere near anything you can consider off, I just think is completely outrageous. It's ludicrous. But then again, it's Classic and everyone is on. You know, so I think 4th, the top 3, Sommerfeld, Ramon, Urs, him 4th, and then I'm kind of looking at I think DeBolt.
Who you got? Who do you have in first?
Oh, first, I think Sommerfeld.
Okay, Mike. Number 2, you have Terrence.
Ramon.
Oh, you have Ramon. Okay.
Yeah. See, I'm not biased, am I?
No, not at all, because Ramon's never done a tour with you. So.
Yeah, I think Terrence is going to take a solid 3rd.
Okay, you have Josema in 4th.
I've got 4th. 5th, I think Michael DeBull, because he's very consistent, a very, very consistent guy.
That's true.
And if he's still holding his own, I think Brion will probably get 6th.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that's a safe bet. And then you've got new guys like Niall Darwin, the One Punch Naz. People are thinking he'd be top 5, but I think he'll look small next to guys like Joe Semmer and Ramon and guys like that. I think he's a top 10 guy because I think he was 11th place last year, but I can see him moving up 2 or 3, maybe even 4 spots.
You know, I am remiss. I should have shown DeBull because DeBull isn't. Look at that! Wow.
He always gets good. What was he, 7th last year? I think was he? I
believe so, but he's again. You know, we're both conditioned snobs, and I've never seen this guy miss the mark.
Don't forget, we've got no Wesley, no Bumstead, no Urs, and with DeBull, he's like Joe Semmer. He's very, very consistent with his conditioning. In fact, the only person I compare his conditioning to is how he looked at his last show. I don't compare him to anybody else because his conditioning when he's on is so far ahead. Sometimes I'll look at him and I'll be disappointed, but he might still be the hardest guy in the whole lineup in these kind of non-Olympia shows. It's like his conditioning is that far ahead. I'm like, it's off for Michael because he looked better at the last show. But it's like I said, he could still be the hardest guy on stage by a mile. It's crazy.
So you just reminded me of one of my favorite Kill Bill references for fans of the Quentin Tarantino series. Hattori Hanzo was this mythical sword maker who made the greatest swords of all time, katanas, samurai swords. And one of the characters said the only thing you can compare a Hattori Hanzo sword to is another Hattori Hanzo sword. So
yeah,
it's like Dexter. When Dexter was a little bit off what we had ever seen him, he was usually still better conditioned than everyone else. But we were so used to seeing him at 100%. If he showed up at 98, we'd be like, Dexter's off. But DeBull, never off.
It's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, because people do. Once you set a standard, people will always expect that standard.
Yeah.
That was Dubai.
I remember Jose Raymond in 2012 when we saw him at a couple of shows, the New York Pro, and then he did Prague, and he did the British Grand Prix. And every other show I saw him at, he looked off because he looked so crazy at those 3 shows.
True. Yeah. I think we'll go in reverse order now. We're going to go to 212.
Cool.
What the heck? See, you notice how I'm leaving my predictions out?
Come on, Ronald. Come on, Ronald. Don't be a pussy boy.
First of all, let me see if I even disagree with you at all. Mike, Ramon, I think I would maybe flip Terrence and Ramon. That's the only thing I would do.
Oh, Terrence going to hate me.
No, I mean, well, Terrence, they don't care. There are people who refuse to ever interview with me again because of where I had him in a prediction. True story.
See, that, to be honest, I find that so weak and so annoying. And I've been in the same position, believe it or not, Ron.
No, I'm sure you have. I know you have.
It's very frustrating. Like, or they block you or something like that, or they won't say hello to you at a show, and then you find out through somebody else that, oh, well, he didn't like this about you, and that's why you refused to do an interview. And you're like, really?
Yeah. So Keon, obviously, it's kind of one of those divisions where nobody seems to be in doubt. Who's going to win 212? Everyone snap immediately. They say Keon. It's not even a question.
He's winning the whole top 5, mate.
Yeah, he'll be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. But
I heard they've already sent him the trophy.
You could see he's bigger and thicker than he was last year. Last year, was he supposedly right at 200 or 201?
Well, I put that message on the group chat yesterday because I messaged Patrick. I've just literally heard from Patrick because they're doing some live stream together in Prague. Yeah. And I said, Patrick, can you, because he was 200, 201 on weighed in last year. He said, Patrick confirmed it was 201. So that's 11 pounds under the 212 limit when he looked at won it quite easily. That's how he was. He was 201 there.
Wow.
This year, he's been 217. And the goal is that is 217 for several weeks, and the goal is to get him down to 212, obviously, which Patrick's out there, so he'll be keeping a very, very close eye. So, and by the time he hits the stage, Patrick said he's probably going to be a couple of pounds heavier. But the thing is, it doesn't always happen where after the weigh-in that they fill out, because I spoke to Derek Lunsford in 2019, and I said, this is when obviously Derek was in the 212, and I said, afterwards, I said, what was your stage weight? And he says, well, I weighed in at 212. He says, but by the time I hit the stage, I was about 209. Because you always assume, oh, they're pulling themselves down to 212. And then by the time they eat up and take in some whatever, fluid or whatever, they actually fill up. But some guys don't. Their body weight keeps on dropping. I did in my last show. I dropped like 6 kilos. It was just from like manipulating water. It's crazy because you think you're just automatically going to fill out. But I think he's going to be, so say he's 214, 215 on stage by the time he hits the stage at the Olympia. That's going to be like 14 pounds heavier on a guy that's 5'5" with lines like that, condition like that. So the fact that, I saw this update this morning and everyone's just losing their minds over it. He just looks absolutely freaking crazy.
So if that's correct, he has gained over 15 pounds of muscle since last year's Olympia. Wow. Because clearly he wasn't trying to he was so safely under 212 last year. It's not like he was losing muscle to get down to 201.
Well, yeah, but hang on. Patrick didn't specify that the 200, 201 was what he weighed in at or what he hit the stage at. So he might have hit the stage at maybe 204. So it's probably more likely about 10 pounds. But the thing is, 10 pounds still. And the thing is, you see the condition he's in. And like the first year he won it, I actually had Clarida winning it. I thought it was a super close one. But last year, I know Clarida didn't look his best because he, Jansen over dieted him and he didn't look his best, and it wasn't normal Clarida. But Keon won it, was so far ahead of everybody else in that one. And the thing is, if he's put another 10, 12, 15 pound or whatever you want to call it, he's going to. There's no one to touch him, mate. I think he's. And the thing is, I thought it'd be like another couple of years before he started hitting the 212 limit and struggling to make weight. But it looks like within 1 year, he's gone from 201 to a guy that is actually really, really having to be careful to even, he's having to pay closer attention this year to making weight than he was last year.
Yeah, it's astonishing. And you're going to be in Prague. You're going to see his open debut, which might be about 220, right?
Patrick said to me he's been ready at 220 for, I think, hang on, I could check the message. I think he said for several weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks, I think he's been ready at 220.
Wow. So
we'll probably see what we saw from Bumstead without the classic limit, where he was 241.5 weighed in at the Olympia, 242 because that's his limit. and then without hair, and then he was 248 at Prague, and that 6 pounds on a guy that's 6'1" made quite a big difference to me. I thought he looked incredible. Maybe it was just because I was there and I wasn't at the Olympia, but to me he looked incredible. So think about like double that on a guy that's 5'5", not 6'1", and you're going to see something quite different. So I'm starting to get very, very excited about Prague.
Oh, it's going to be a great show. So Sean, we mentioned I'm not showing his updates because he's got 5XL sweatshirts on and all his updates as you. He stays covered up till the very end. Clarita has either been the winner or the runner-up for the past 4 years in a row now. I would love to see him still hold on to that runner-up spot. We do have the young kid from Turkey, Nihat, who looks pretty damn amazing. But Sean still has all the tools that got him to the Olympia title, the 212 Olympia title, and have kept him fighting Keon. He's still got the round, bubbly muscle, still gets in a great condition. We did see him slip up a little bit at the Olympia last year. He came in very, very flat, but
lucky to get second.
Boss of Outlaw stepped up to the plate. I think he took him on right after that show.
Yeah, Ron, I've got a video of me. I had my phone in my hand. I was filming it, and I said to Sean, all right, Sean, because Sean was coming off stage with his check. And I said to him, that's more effing like it, Sean. And he says, oh, bro, he says, the Olympia was an effing shit show. And I was like, Sean, I'm filming this, mate. He said, yeah, it was an effing shit show. And I said, well, this is more like it, mate. I said, this is the Prague footage you're showing from last year now. And that is more the Sean that we all know and love. But I thought he was lucky to get second at Olympia last year because that, pulling him down, it all came off his legs. Even his back disappeared. I mean, he was. I thought he was very, very. He should have. Looking back at that, he should have been very, very happy that he got second. But I think he's going to look a lot better than he did last year. So I've still got Sean holding on to that second spot, mate.
So I mean, this is my pick for third place right here. This kid, 22 years old. You're a kid. This is Nihat Kaya. Am I saying it right?
21.
Yes, Nihat Kaya from Turkey. I think he lives in Dubai now. This was back at the Dubai show when he won that. And that was July. And if you look at his updates, he already looks like he's filled out even more, as you would expect from someone so young. This is that's 13 weeks ago. So he's another Patrick Tour client. All right, so this is more recent. This is 9 hours ago. Condition crazy. I don't know why that's so small. Those delts are just insane on this kid.
And there's no shit in them, mate.
No dodgy delts. I'm stealing all your delts.
That's the thing that really bugs me. And I'm getting a lot of hate for that, mine. But do you know what? I'll keep pointing it out because I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, who was the first guy to really start pointing out the stomachs when they started popping up 20, 25 years ago when the guys were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Who was the first one to put their hand up, either in the media or in the federation itself to say, do you know what? This is getting out of hand now. We need to sort of start stamping this out. So I'm the same with the delts, mate. I freaking hate it. But look at him. He's got lines in his shoulders there. They're full, they're round. He's lean, so you can see all the detail. You can see all the different heads. Striations, his triceps and everything, and it's the vascularity. He's not just trying to fill it to try and make it look more voluminous.
Yeah, look, I
think he's amazing. He's
22 years old. Wow, what a future he's got.
I think with Keon in the driving seat, if he stays in the 212, then he's the best he can hope for. Really, let's be honest, is second place. So he's probably going to do what Cormier did at the Arnold Classic or Jay Cutler until Ronnie started slipping and time started catching up with him. I think he could be like a 4 or 5 time runner up at the 212. And I'll message Patrick as well because I'm curious to know what he weighs. Because I remember I was in Milan last year with Lauren, and I was messaging Patrick because it was the weekend he won the show in Dubai. Or was he second? He was second, wasn't he? He was second.
Well, he won Dubai this year. I think last year he was second.
Yeah. And I said to Patrick, I said, is he going to keep going to try and qualify? He says, no. He said, we're going to shut it down. I'm going to come back better next year. He said, he's really young. He doesn't need to be doing show after show after show to go and get 7th place at the Olympia. It's not, because I think Patrick kind of knew how good this kid would be and also what stage he was at in his career. So it paid off because he shut it down. He did that one show, got on stage. People saw how good he was, how good he could be. He shut it down, came back, won Dubai, and now he's coming in as. Many people have got him beating Clarida. I wouldn't be shocked if it happened, but I think he's going to be a solid third place this year, mate. I don't see him placing any lower than that.
Right. Just trying to think of who else. Obviously, we got Carrot Baggio.
What about Lucas Garcia?
We'll check him out in a second. So Carrot was 4th last year.
Mm-hmm.
You can't discount anybody that's done that well at the Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he always looks fantastic. That grainy old man muscle, because he's no spring chicken. He's not a senior citizen, but you can see the white hair on the beard, just like I'm starting to get. Jose got.
Thing is, Ron, it's like with the Open, there's a lot of new guys coming in that are very, 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 very good this year.
Oh, 100%. So this is Carrot at the New York Pro. This is a little while. 2023. This was 2 years ago. But he did the Texas Pro as an Open, and he was 6th place.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Look good. Do you know what he weighed there? I do remember him saying, but I've forgotten now.
I want to say it was like 211.
Yeah. So he was still 212 then?
He definitely was. Yeah, I remember because Lori, his partner, girlfriend, whatever, the title has always escaped me for people. She wanted to keep it a secret until the show was over because, we all assumed, well, he must be 215, 220. No, he didn't need to do that. He's got a fantastic physique that held up very well against some of those guys in Texas, like Joe Palacios, who were just hulkish, monstrous human beings. Hutchinson's like 250.
Yeah.
Quint is a big guy.
There's 3 guys that could potentially knock him out of that kind of 4th spot. You've got Francisco Barrios, who beat Calderon at the New York Pro.
Yeah.
You've got Madelman, Jose Berry.
Yeah.
And this Lucas Garcia, mate, he won 2 shows this year, and there's a lot of hype around him. And there's also, I couldn't get to see his name, there's a Brazilian guy as well that looks really, really good. But the thing is, I think Patrick potentially could have 3 guys in the top 5.
Patrick's killing it this year as a coach.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure I'm okay announcing this, but he's going to be coming in on one of the categories or two of the categories in Prague because not Open because I think it would be he needs to tend to key on, and I don't want him to show any bias in the live stream. So he's but so I thought maybe a couple of other classes. So me and Patrick Tour are going to be doing some live stream together. He's
going to recuse himself, as they say.
Me and Patrick have had our moments, Me and Patrick have clashed.
I know. I didn't know you were talking to Patrick right now.
Well, it's, what it's like up and down. People talk to you, then they don't talk to you. Then you say something they don't like about one of their athletes that they disagree with, and then they're upset with you. And then you say something nice, and then you're all friends again, and it's all forgotten about. It's just the way that the merry-go-round goes round, mate.
Boy, oh boy. So Lucas Garcia. What show did he win? Wow, look at that. So Prague. This is Prague last year?
He's better than that now. He's better than that now.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he's won 2 shows. And to be honest, the improvements he's made now blow last year's away, mate.
Wow, yeah.
Really good.
These are more recent. These were yesterday.
Yeah. Then you got guys like Marco Ruz. Who else? Some other names. Madelman, people think he'll be top 3. I don't know whether he'll be top 3 because to me, his conditioning and kind of detail and maturity still, I don't know. He could scrape in. He could maybe make top 5. I wouldn't mind seeing Madelman against Kerith because I think they've got similar kind of physiques. So it's just whether the more established guys are going to be able to fight off these kind of new guys coming into the 212. But you know what? I was thinking about this today as well. I felt like the 212 was a bit stagnant for a few years. I felt like there was, Flex Lewis left, and then, Derek Lunsford, and it kept it exciting, and then Derek switched over to Open, and I felt like it needed new blood to keep it going, because otherwise it's just the same faces over and over again. But you've got guys like Nihart and Madelman and this Lucas Garcia who's really coming up, and Francisco, and we've got some really, really good new talent coming in now. And obviously Keon now has put so much eyes on the 212 because he is so good. And I see all the comments, people saying he has the best physique on the planet right now. I don't know about that, but he's certainly on his way. And I make a prediction. I guarantee. I personally think that Keon will be doing the Arnold Classic in the Open as well.
People would lose their minds. The 2 things I think most people want to see at the next year's Arnold Classic are Sam Solik in Classic Physique because he's got, There's 7 billion people on this planet, and 3 billion follow him, I believe, on Instagram. So that's some good numbers. So I don't think he's going to do well, but still. And Keon, if he does open, it's going to break the damn internet.
But do you know what though? If there is a proviso, he has to win Prague, because we still don't know who's going to be doing Prague. I'm trying to get Andrew Jack to do it. I've heard that Urs might be doing it. So, and you don't know. The thing is, you don't know how he's going to look next to Krizo. Krizo might completely dwarf him. I mean, yes, he's going to win Keon's going to win the back shots, but you don't know. You don't know that. You don't know how a 212-pound guy is going to look next to 270. Guys like Andrew Jack, 280, 290. We might get it, and it might be like a bit of a letdown. So you can't just automatically assume that this incredible 212, this 5'5" guy is going to come in and just blow all the good open guys. I mean, and Krizo's been 7th in Olympia. Yeah. He's won pro shows. People are just assuming he's going to come in and blow someone like Krizo away, and it's like you can't say that, because you don't know how they're going to look until they stand on stage next to each other. It might be a completely different story, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Krizo beats him. I wouldn't be surprised if Keon. I think it's the matchup. I think probably as far as post-Olympia shows go, although we have no idea who's doing what shows. That's probably going to be the most exciting post-Olympia show, just off the top of my head.
I'm working on some other competitors. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. I mean,
imagine if Hadi or Nick or someone like that jumped into Prague. I mean, so are you automatically going to say that Keon's going to beat all of those as well? What if Derek jumped in, or I mean, you don't know. So it's not necessarily a foregone conclusion. The thing is, you don't know how even guys like Urs are going to look next to Keon, because yes, obviously Keon's going to blow him away from the back, but from the side shots and the front shots, you might be like, actually, my eyes are drawn to Urs a lot more, because every physique has its own attributes.
All right, it's prediction time. 212, we've got Keon in first place.
Correct.
You have Nihat in second.
No, I think Sean's still going to maintain the second place.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Sean. I mean, I'm rooting for. We love. He's such a cool guy. I always wish him the best.
He's one of the only ones I actually like watching his training content, and I know it's just a thing on a tripod. It's just him training, and I love the way that his training is so consistent year round. Because you see some guys, and they're obviously posting old training stuff, and Sean's just there in his old school gym with no music, and he's just grunting and screaming and just wrapping his knees up, and he's aggressive all year round with his training. Because some of these guys, they really turn it on 3-4 months out, and then the off season they might not post any training stuff for a few months because it's not worth posting. But with Sean, it's all year round, and I really like that about him.
Yeah, and it's hard for people to stay covered up. Sometimes I wish he would do some updates, some posing updates. Occasionally he does at the very end, but here we are 3 days out. I haven't seen one shot like that.
It's funny because I don't really find 99% of the training stuff I see on Instagram or social media, I don't find it motivational. It doesn't make me want to go train. Like when I used to watch Dorian Yates' Blood and Guts every Saturday morning before I get on the bus for an hour to go do legs, or I'd be training, watching Sean Ray or Ronnie Coleman or like those videos, seeing that footage used to really fire me up. But the only one that I actually feel that off is actually Sean Clarita, man.
Wow, great job, Sean. Okay, so
keeping the tiger beefy.
So it starts getting tough once you get to 4th and 5th. I know. 4th place. What do you think?
Do you think Kerith will hold on to that 4th?
He could very well.
I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah,
but I think there's some Francisco maybe or. Middleman, I think, is at 7th, so let's move him out of the way. Right, so that leaves Francisco. Hang on, Francisco, or this Lucas Garcia. I feel like this Lucas Garcia is like Nihat. I feel like he's really moved up this year.
So you think we're going to keep Kerith in 4th?
Yeah, I think 5th, Lucas, 6th, Francisco, 7th.
Yeah, we're only going to 6th.
Okay. No, 7th was Middleman.
Okay, so 6 was Lucas.
When are we doing the open prediction? We do it tomorrow?
No, we're doing it in 2 seconds.
Okay. Shit, I need to wait.
Do you need to pee already?
No, it's fine. I can wait. I'll tie a knot in it.
We're going to keep this one to an hour. All right, 49 minutes now. Keon, Sean, Nihat, Kerith, Lucas, Francisco. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to jump right into open now. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while. Samson.
I've actually, Ron, sorry to interrupt. I've actually changed my mind on a very, very, very vital placing based upon something I saw this week.
Let's hear it.
Well, no, you first.
Oh, I don't know what you're going to say.
No, sorry, go ahead. If you want to say something, go for it, mate.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. Right, okay. So you want to go straight into the open now, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if we want to look at the couple updates real quick, I mean, Samson hasn't given us anything to look at. Derek just did come out with something. I'm never super impressed with Derek's updates, to be honest with you. To me, he's one of those guys who looks better on stage.
Yes, which is what you want. Because, I mean, how many guys have we seen look amazing on Instagram and you get on stage and you're like, oh shit.
Exactly. I mean, it's always better to be impressive on stage after not being impressed. Otherwise, but so Derek, this is the area we're looking at always, this chest, arms, shoulders. So yeah, I mean, we've been looking at guys so you could see every single fiber, like hundreds of thousands of fibers striated and splintered all over the place. And I don't see that with Derek. But again, I never see that with Derek in these updates.
I know. What is it? Because I don't think I'm not seeing any strange lumps or site injected areas there. Because it doesn't look like it's filled. It looks fine. But it is difficult to tell because in some of these pictures and videos, he kind of looks soft. And the thing is, I mean, I'm a fool for underestimating Derek because I did not. One of the biggest, apart from the other biggest shock of the year for 2025 was seeing what he did at the Arnold Classic. Because after, I didn't think he was starting to slip because I know only one show you can have one off day or whatever, or something goes wrong, but I didn't see him coming in and beating Samson at the Arnold Classic, but he did, and he deserved to win it. So I was like, but like I said last week, sorry, go with what give me your predictions then, mate.
Oh boy.
Or do you want mine?
No, I think it's only fair that I do. I put myself on the spot. So Ron open. Okay. I'm going to type it up first so I can't change my answers.
Could you line up Hadi's Instagram as well, please, when you do mine?
Oh, absolutely. He hasn't put anything too recent though. Oh boy.
I'm going to piss a few Iranian fans off now.
Well, the thing is, like you said, the Iranians, Persians, they're going to be upset either way because Beirut and Hadi cannot both win.
I said that, didn't I?
Yeah.
The amount of times I said that on Instagram this week, and the amount of likes and comments I got on that because I think it's amazing that Iran has got that many fans, but they're not bodybuilding fans; they're fans of their guy because it's national pride, and I get it, and I love it. I think it's amazing in one way, but the other way, it's like it's hard to get in a sort of any sort of engagement when you're engaging with some sort of debate. With someone that people that kind of don't really know bodybuilding, but they just really, really rooting for their guy. So I get it.
All right. So you can't do these without pissing a bunch of people off, unfortunately. Oh well. Sorry, guys. Here we go. This is mine.
Tough titty.
Samson wins. Congratulations, Samson. Nick Walker, second place. Good job, Nick. Derek Lunsford, third place. I can't believe Nick beat you this time. Hadi Chupon, fourth place. Martin Fitzwater drops from fourth to fifth, but very strong lineup. And I have the other Iranian, Behruz Tabani, in sixth place.
Andrew Jack's not your friend anymore.
But if Andrew shows up better than I've ever seen him, I could see him as high as second or third.
Yeah.
So the problem is you can't have everybody in that top six. Oh.
I know. Don't worry. But mate, in fact, I'll tell you my top 10 actually, and I've really agonized about this over this week. Okay, Samson in first, but I had a thought. I can't say for certain whether this chasing condition is he gonna hold on to the size he had at the finals last year? Because if he looks like he did size wise and everything in the way his physique is put together, if he shows up like he did at the finals at the Olympia last year in this new condition, then I'll be honest, I think the gap between first and everybody else is going to be like when Ronnie was kind of like when Jay had been coming in and getting second, but the gap between Ronnie and Jay was quite a lot, let's be honest. Certainly 2003, 2004. But I was thinking about what happened in Romania in 2023. Do you remember? It was a week after the Olympia, and he just got third in the Olympia. And I know he went, because he would have gone back to UK, then he would have flown out to Romania. And I was watching, I watched, because I was reviewing it for Global. I watched the full live stream, and it was like a completely different guy that had stepped on stage the week before, because he'd lost fullness. And when he loses that, a lot of what makes his physique so special completely vanishes. In fact, the last ever episode of Global that never went out, I actually got a bit of a telling off from Derek, who was doing the producing, because I was watching I was doing a live stream review, and I was going hard at Samson. Derek says that to me, even said to me when we were actually recording, he says, "Oh, I think you've been a bit harsh there, mate." And I says, "No, it's posing routine, and it's just these." And as soon as it was at the pre-judging, as soon as Behrooz was moved into the center for another round of posing, it was like you could physically see Samson just start to like disengage and freak out, because I just think he thought he had it in the bag, and it's like his confidence just went like that in a flash, because he could have been beaten by Behrooz there. So his physique can change when it loses fullness. So, but if that doesn't happen and he still manages to keep that silhouette and everything else, then it sounds like I'm praising him and I'm criticizing him at the same time, which I kind of am, because I think he'll win. But I'll be honest, that Romania thing did make me a little bit nervous. But I still think that, because I don't want him to come out and look kind of small for him, because when you're stood on stage next to guys like Hadi, Nick, and all these other guys, it's...
Yeah, lost you there for a second. Lost your audio, Giles. Let's hope you come back. Can you hear me, Giles? Well, we're looking at Samson, guys. Take a look at the guest posing and hope Giles comes back in a second. So Samson guest posing in Romania. Ron's open. Let's hope Giles comes back. Come on back, Giles. Ah, there you are, Giles. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, we lost you there for a second.
Okay.
So yeah, you were saying as far as Samson, yeah, if he does lose too much fullness, I don't see him holding on the title either. Because
the upper body looks a lot smaller there, mate. I know he was just flat and everything. He probably didn't do anything special, and the lighting's not as good. But like bringing anything like that is not going to win the Olympia, mate. In fact, I think he'll drop out the top 3 if he looks like that at the Olympia. But I know, I'm sure the Samson fans are going to be going crazy at me right now. But the thing is, 6 weeks out is somewhat of an indication of how you'll look at the Olympia in 6 weeks. But to me, it looks like he's chasing condition too much there, and fullness and size is a lot of it's gone there, I think. I wonder if he can get that back. Can he get that back?
We'll see, because he's only got... you can't tell. His face, he's got that caved-in face. I've never seen his face look like that before, first of all. But we've been on his ass for the last couple of years saying we want to see that crispy condition. So, you can't...
I do feel bad for him, because you can imagine, like, even when he won the Olympia, people are going on about the lack of condition. You just won the Olympia, because at the finals, he was the best man on stage. But no, he did not have the best condition. So now he's kind of giving them what they want. Imagine if he comes and gives them what they want, brings condition, but loses kind of all his fullness and pop, and then drops down to 3rd or 4th or something. I mean, that's going to be... Because a lot of people have got Samson like 4th, 5th. And I think they're just trying to gauge the... what they've seen so far,
Yeah, look at that face.
Yeah, it looks good. No, I like it. You know me, I like the sunken in face. But can you go to Hadi's Instagram, please, mate?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's crazy how much older people look immediately when they get, if you're down to like 3% body fat or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm. Now go down. No, go to the main page, please. Down. Go to the... Where's the one where he's doing the laterals from behind?
Oh,
side laterals. You saw that one, yeah?
I see where we're going with this.
I'm going to say nothing here, Ron, and just let me give you what's your opinion on this video? What are your first impressions?
The delts look very pointy. They look like they're pointing skyward. And this was 5 days ago. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much they can quote unquote calm down in 5 days.
For me, the back looks soft. The triceps are climbing up the arm, which is an indication of wear and tear, which comes with age. And, you know, like he's been at the top now for 8 years, since 2017 when he did his first open show in San Marino. I'll be honest, the back looks soft to me. The triceps don't look good. The shoulders look absolutely ridiculous. I heard a rumor that, I don't know whether it's true, that Hani's really been on his case about stopping what he's been doing in his shoulders. Like, I heard a rumor that someone said they'd seen some exchange of messages on a group chat. And they said, Hani says, stop pinning the shoulders, stop doing that. So like I said, I don't know whether that's true, but I've heard a rumor from a very, very good source, actually.
I find it hard to believe Hadi Chupan and Hani Rambat are on a group chat.
No, well, whatever it was. But somebody sounded quite certain, and they're a source I trust. But like for me, I had Hadi in third, and from that post alone, I'm swapping him with Derek. I'm giving Derek third and Hadi fourth. But like I said, I'm not awarding anything. It's just my opinion. So, you know, Hadi's very consistent. But is he going to be hard from the back like he was at the Arnold Classic last year? Because he's very, very rare. That's the only 2 times, the Arnold and the Arnold UK, where he's been as hard from the back as he has been from the front. But then at the Arnold Classic in America, he was hard from the back, but he lost a lot of fullness in the process. So if he's full hard from front and back, but the shoulders, I just don't like the shoulders. I'm sorry. It looks ridiculous.
Well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion on that. So you have, Derek, Derek in second. That's why we're here. Derek in second, Hadi in third.
No. Nick in second.
Oh, you do have Nick in second. See, you do.
Yeah. Nick in second. I've got Derek in third, Hadi in fourth.
Derek third, Hadi four. Okay.
I've got Andrew in fifth.
See, Andrew still likes you. He hates me now, but okay. Great job, Andrew. Stay in the top 5.
I've got Martin in sixth.
Okay. I was gonna say, where's Martin?
Can I give you my top 10?
Yeah, we're already at 6. Go ahead.
Yep. 7, Beirut.
Great job, Beirut.
Brandon Curry 8th. Sorry.
Wow. Huh?
Yeah, Brandon Curry. I think I just don't see him. I just don't see him and Bonac falling out the top 10.
Okay. So is
I
Bonac?
don't see it. I think Bonac in 9th.
Okay.
And then I think Tonio will take the final spot in top 10, mate.
Wow. So.
But thing is, Ron, we've got a lot of new guys coming through, like Jordan Hutchinson, Rubiel, Urs, Sasan. Who else is there? Who's the other new guys? And we've got a lot of new guys in the show, but I don't know. Sorry, go on.
So here are the guys that did not make top 10. There's 10 of them. So Brett. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a tough show. This is the toughest show in the world. Brett's going to look the best he's ever looked. Akeem's going to be absolutely monstrous. So Brett, Akeem, sleep on Good Vito didn't make top 10 in your scenario.
Yeah. See, people got him like 6th, 5th, and all that sort of stuff. But
Regan, Sasan, Cheng Long Shen, I didn't have in the top 10. Nexzilla, no top 10.
Nope.
Jordan. Nope. Oh, Germany's going to hate you because you didn't have Urs in your top 10.
I know, but who do you think will be the highest placed of all the new guys that you've just mentioned there? Rubiel, Urs, Jordan, Sasan, Vito. Who do you think the first-time Olympians? Who do you think will be the guy out of that lot that gets the highest placing?
I'm thinking either Urs or Vito. If Vito's condition is bang on, he beats Urs. I think at this point. If he's a little bit off, Urs will come in shredded. He's still a work in progress. I know the back needs to be thicker and everything, but he could slide in there.
I think Jordan is underrated, because I think he's like Urs is weak from the back. Let's be honest. He doesn't have very good separation. He needs more size from the back. But Jordan's very complete. He doesn't really have a bad pose, So and Vito is not as complete as Jordan. He's bigger. He's a lot bigger, a lot freakier, but he's not as complete. He doesn't have as many good compulsory poses. I think Rubiel, purely for the conditioning, unless he brings something all new that we've never seen before, I don't see him placing that well. Actually, I think he's when he turns to the back, mate, he's going to look 4, 5, 6 weeks out, mate.
I've never seen him look conditioned from the back like we want him to be, like what we expect.
This is the Olympia, mate. This is the Olympia.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who we've seen Olympias where guys who are shredded to the bone are in the third call out. Yeah. And sometimes they place out of the top 15 just because it's such a tough show and other guys have simply better physiques.
And And if you really want to if you want to take all the new guys, like Urs won 2 shows, Rubiel won 2 shows, Jordan won 2 shows. If you really, really, really want to analyze it, look at who they beat.
Oh, 100%. You have to be, if you're beating a bunch of guys who have never been on the Olympia stage, or maybe they were, but they weren't even top 15, that doesn't give you any indication of how you're going to compare when you stand next to all those other guys.
I mean, I think out of all of them, I think Urs has probably got the most potential, because I think in 2 years, I think he's going to be knocking on the top 6, mate, 100%. With Rubiel, I don't know. I mean, I know Ronnie said that he thinks Rubiel could become Mr. Olympia, but unless he brings something new with his conditioning, and then the thing is, if say he does get that condition and he loses something in the process. You've seen that happen many, many times when guys finally nail condition, but the physique just doesn't look the same.
I mean, I'm going to sound awful, but I don't think he's ever going to be Mr. Olympia, only just because of the structure. He's got the front double bicep, if I could find a picture, is a strange pose for him. Does he do it here?
I mean, look at the back. Come on, I mean, the back shots. I mean, it looks like bloody, like Bertel Fox 83 condition, doesn't it? It doesn't, I'm sorry, it looks like guest posing condition.
Yeah, I mean, this was the winning. This is enough for good enough to win in Dubai, but this is the Olympia. Look at that right there. Yeah.
I reckon if I hugged him, he'd be very squishy.
Yeah. So that was, whatever he weighed here, we'd need to take a good 10 pounds at least.
On a guy that size, mate, 10 pounds would barely scratch the surface. I mean that. I remember when Zach qualified for in 2009, he weighed in 279.4, and he had shredded glutes. And Neil Hill took 23 pound off him to get him to get his pro card at the British. He brought him down to 257. 23 pounds he took off that. Because I was like, well, he said to me in the audience, "What do you think he needs to get off?" And I said, well, at least 12 to 14 pounds. And he says, yeah, I think more. And I was like, no, he'd lose too much size. And he brought him down 23 pounds. But that's what sometimes these guys need to do to really, do well. Because like I said, the thing is, Rubiel can carry on winning, probably 1 or 2 pro shows every single year for the next 5 years. But unless he improves the conditioning, mate, I don't think. The thing is, he might lose his calling card, which is his freakiness and his fullness and his thickness and his density. But maybe he's just one of those guys that's never destined. Remember Hakeem? We used to get very frustrated with Hakeem. Is he ever going to get condition? And then all of a sudden he started nailing it. But you got guys like Urs, once he sorts those back shots out and he gets more development and detail and everything from the back, and he looks like as good as he does from the front, that those are the guys that move up. That's why I think Jordan Hutchinson is quite underrated from all the new guys, because we're all talking about the freaky Rubiel and Urs because he's got a huge fan base and he is good, great posing, great presentation. But guys like Jordan, I mean, you look at it, if he doesn't have a bad compulsory shot, he doesn't really have a weakness.
No, he doesn't. He's a big guy, and you look at that condition. He nails the condition.
Head to toe, mate. Top every angle, side, front, back. He's as good from the front to the side to the back as he is. Every single shot. He doesn't really have a weak body part. He doesn't really have a weak pose. And those are the guys you've got to watch out for, mate. Because at Olympia, the judges are going to they'll look at Urs and go, right, okay, his back shots are weak. Okay, let's move him out the way. Because they're looking for at this level, they're not looking for strengths. They're all the guys are strong. They're looking for weaknesses.
You have to. I mean, look at these guys. I mean, we didn't have neither one of us have Regan. Regan's got a massive fan base.
Yeah, Regan looks amazing.
Good, but I don't see him in the top 10 this year. I don't. And Vito. I mean, Vito looks great. I don't know. Top 10 is going to be tough.
Oh,
it's going to be very.
Is there really a benefit from being top 10?
I mean, I would do it if I was going to be like 80th place. That's me. So yeah.
I mean, Vito's good, and I won't say he's an Instagram bodybuilder, but I'll be honest. What he puts on Instagram is, I'm not putting him down because I think he's fantastic and he's won pro shows. He won the Arnold Brazil. He's amazing, but I don't think he's quite there yet. I think he's like Urs. I think he'll need another year or two to really start being a threat for top 10 or even top 6.
Yeah, the condition that he won the Arnold Brazil or South America was not fantastic.
It's okay.
It didn't need to be. It was good. It wasn't great. I mean, the Olympia, you have to be so good at the Olympia because it's the best show in the world.
Ron, so who do you think potentially could be the surprise of the show?
Oh boy, jeez. Oh Lord.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Derek does what he did at the Arnold and just shock everyone and push Samson for the win. I mean, I could see that happening. I could see. The thing is, because there's so many new guys coming through, and there's so many existing guys like Hakeem, Brandon, William, Regan. You know, there's going to be some. I think there's going to be a bit of a shake-up because you've kind of got the old guard just at the end stages of their career. You know, because Bonac says this is last year. Brandon, is he realistically going to be going on many more years, but still holding on? You know, and then you've got Regan, you know, but you've got so many new guys that are coming through that are really, really good. I mean, Regan next to Jordan. I mean, how would you have that?
I'd probably get shape-wise. I prefer Regan's physique. I think he's got a better flow and structure and shape, but condition and muscle density, I would give it to Jordan. So
yeah, see, I could
see Jordan beating him.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think it's going to be quite a rough Olympia, this one. Because the thing is, also when we have these kind of names in, when we've got really all of them are good. I mean, every single one of those guys are really, really good. We usually get dropouts. Have you noticed? We don't have any dropouts this year. We usually get at least 2-3 guys that in the last 6 weeks. Yeah, one.
Raphael's the only guy.
That's it.
Typically,
I mean, Raphael, would he have been at the top 10?
Very likely this year. I mean, he's very good, but the talent pool, this is getting like that. You know, we say, it was so much better than the 90s. I don't know now. No, I don't know if I can say that. I think it's very competitive right now. Very competitive.
I think Tony will make top 10. No, I've got him 10th.
Yeah. I mean, when you have guys, some of these names we mentioned that we don't think are necessarily going to make top 10, like Jordan, Urs, Regan, I mean, that shows you these are guys who have more than capable of being top 10, and they might still be. We don't know what's going to happen, but goodness gracious, it's a tough one.
And I wonder if Bonac or Curry are going to start to show, like Dexter did that last year. Was it 2019, the last, or 2020? 2020, I think, was the last Olympia he did, wasn't it? And that he just until that last year, he looked great. And then the last year, because he had COVID, didn't he, in that year? And he didn't look as good. He didn't look his normal self. But for years, they kind of hold on. So, I thought Bonac was starting to fade when I saw him at the Arnold Classic. And then he just somehow managed to just improve and look amazing for all the consequent shows after that. But, I mean, Brandon and Bonac, I think they're going to look, they don't show any signs of decline from what I've seen from any of these updates.
Yeah, Brandon looks great. I didn't have him in my top 10 because I don't know. I forget. It's like there's so many good guys. You can't have 20 guys in your top 10. There's 20 guys in the show.
No, I know. I get it. There's no. I don't think anyone really with half a brain is going to criticize you for not having so and so, unless it's like that's the only. Unless they're just an Urs fan or just a Vito fan, or because if you look at this objectively. If you really know every single one of these guys, and you know their history, and and you've seen the updates, and you can't I can't see Bonac or Brandon unless they mess up falling out the top 10. Like I said, when you got because obviously Behruz, we got the big news that Behruz was jumping in. See Behruz, I mean, the people thinking he could be like 4th, 3rd, and 2nd and push Samson. I don't see it, mate, because his legs are weak, and I don't think his chest is that great either. And also another thing, I know Behruz was prepping, but are you going to prep completely 100% all in if you really, really aren't sure that you're going to even be able to make it to the show that you want to make it to? I always wonder if maybe psychologically there's something that holds them back. What do you think, Ron? Yeah, I mean, I know he's been prepping, and I don't know when he finally got the news. I think it was it's been only a week or less, right? At this point. So that's not a lot of time. I mean, he does look really good, but maybe it's the lighting. Maybe Milos needs to find a better spot for the lighting or something. The lighting's terrible. But the thing is, I mean, I've never seen him out of condition. But don't forget, he was beaten by Bonac at last year's Empro. Wow. So I don't know whether, I mean, his back's good, his shoulders are good. There's a bit of a shine on them, but it's not that noticeable. His most muscular is incredible. His waistline's nice and tight. It looks like a men's physique waistline. The legs are great from the back. Sorry, great from the side, pretty good from the back. I mean, his glutes are very dominant. But until he brings up his quad from the front, mate, I don't see him being a top 5 Olympia guy. Oh, I don't think he's top 5 this year. A lot of people have him that high. I don't see him doing that well right away. Andrew Martin would really have to be off. Yeah, I mean, I feel so bad, and I had Andrew so low in my predictions now.
Well, I only went to top 5, but I would have had him right outside the top 5.
Okay, give us your top 10 then.
Jeez.
Go on, Ron. Put the thumb screws on you.
So let's see. Right now I have Samson, Nick, Derek, Hadi, Martin, Beiruz. Okay.
7th.
I'm going to edit. All right, 7th. Jeez, Andrew's going to hate me for having him in 7th. I have Andrew.
What if he wins it?
I'd be very, like I said, these are just my speculations. Anybody that wins the Mr. Olympia, I'd be ecstatic for them. I mean, that's every bodybuilder's dream. I'd be very, very happy. Part
of us always secretly wants some of the big names to come in off, because then it makes it easier. You know, because we're going upon past achievements, where they rank, how we've judged them from their updates. You know, and thing is that obviously that can change drastically because things can go wrong, guys. I mean, look at Martin at bloody Pittsburgh. I mean, who'd have saw him coming in 3rd? I saw Bob Chicks on a podcast saying that if Martin had been lighter, he'd have beaten Derek and Nick. And I was like, no, I think Derek and Nick were pretty. I mean, that was a pretty solid top 2. I thought, you know, I think Bonak should have been 3rd actually in that one. So hang on, 8th Curry, 9 Bonak, 10 Tonio. All right, Ron.
I spelled it Tono.
Bonio.
Sorry, Tonio. I'm sorry about that.
I just really hope that Derek really manages to peak again, because I didn't like how he looked in Pittsburgh. I think his legs are gone. I think he just looked soft. You know, I thought Nick took him comfortably, but I think Nick's going to be a lot bigger this year, isn't he? Like than he was back in then, because he was saying he's been using the retatrutide and it's really helped his his dieting. It's helped him come in fuller. It's he's been on 150 grams of carbs, and he said he's been going 1.5 hours on cardio, and he said it's been a real game changer for him. So imagine another 10 pounds on that on Nick, and if it doesn't go to the waistline, I mean that's going to be something to see.
Whew, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a late night for you, or it's going to be an early morning, I should say.
Yeah, big time, mate. Big time.
Yeah,
big time. So, who do you think? Who do you think potentially could be really slipping or moving up this year compared to previous years? Not including all the new guys, obviously.
I mean, it's. I forgot. I didn't have Akim in my top 10. Jeez. Oh,
yeah. Well,
I mean, the obvious answers would be just because of father time and the ravages of age on anybody. I would say Brandon or Bonak both have the potential to slip down because they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not getting better. They're struggling every year to stay in that top ranking. So
I could see Brandon or Bonak, you know, if there's any signs of things starting to slip, I could see them going down to 11th or 12th or 13th even. But from what I've seen, I think they're going to maintain enough to stay in the top 10.
Yeah, and I mean, I wish I could have had them all in my top 10, but Akim is looking fantastic. He's great. Next, Zilla, because he's got that freak factor. If he can bring better condition. Jordan Hutchinson, very impressive. And even Urs, I should say even, like he's awful. We haven't even mentioned Sasan. I mean, there's some
he's looking good, man. I saw the update the other day. He's really I feel like he's got his upper body fullness back now that he had in 2018. Because when he came back last year, even in those shows, and I actually messaged him and I commented on Instagram and I said, mate, what people don't realize, I said, you've just won 2 shows. I said, but this is still not, you're still not back to how good you were and can be. Because his legs are always full and freaky, and I think they've got striations in them in the bloody off season. But his upper body wasn't quite as thick as it was, but it's back now. It looks like he's got that density back in his chest, his shoulders, his arms. From what I'm seeing here, anyway, I think the one that we could potentially might be underestimating, based upon also what we saw last year, I think Martin, because I've heard Martin's 10 pounds lighter. Because I feel like I've got him 6th, but I feel like he was so close to Derek last year. I had him beating Derek last year, so that would have put him in 3rd last year. He's beaten Andrew already. He's beaten Andrew before. He beat him at the Olympia last year.
Yeah.
So if he's like really rock hard, I think with his symmetry and conditioning, I think most likely 6th. But if he brings something that like comes close to the finals package he brought last year, I could definitely see him. I could see him 4th or 3rd.
Yeah, I hate to I hate to seem like we're discounting him because he was fantastic last year. Most of us had him in third place last year, beating Derek.
And he's been Ron. He's also been very quiet. That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, honestly, after I have Samson winning, I don't unless he shows up over dieted and stringy.
That'd be disastrous, wouldn't it?
That would be awful. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm hoping. What I'm hoping for with Samson is that he shows up like he did at the finals last year, but with that next level conditioning, but retaining the fullness.
Yeah, so Martin could be as high as we could put him up in third or something. I think after the winner, this thing could shuffle around so many different ways, a million different ways.
I feel like it might potentially be a bit of a changing of the guard this year because you've got, like I said, the Akims, the Currys, the Brandons, but then you've got all these new guys. Because sometimes, if you notice, some years there's only one or two new guys in the entire open lineup, and now we've got 6 or 8.
Yeah,
competing for the first. Let's go through them. You've got Jordan, Urs, Sasan, Rubiel. That's 4. Who else is there? Who else is the new guys? We just reeled them off before.
So, Brett Wilkins.
Vito, Brett. That's 6. That's 6.
Brett he qualified last year, but he had to pull out. So Brett's never been up there before. Martin's been there. Brandon. Good Vito, first timer.
Yeah. I want to see how Urs compares with Vito.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a matchup because Brazilian fans versus German fans. They're both very, very passionate about their athletes. Very supportive.
I think Urs has got more potential than all of them, though.
True. I am figuring out how to do the watch party and show the pictures because why am I going to stay up all night and we're going to watch the show and we're not going to, why would we not do that? It's silly. So I'll figure it out. I have a few more days to perfect it because it's going to be a hell of a show.
Can't wait.
The only time of the year I ever stay up past midnight intentionally.
Yesterday Jay Cutler messaged me out the blue.
Oh, what'd he say?
And he asked me if I was coming to the Olympia.
Oh, wow.
And I said, not this year, mate. And he went, oh, okay. And I was thinking, did he want me on the Cutler cast, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, that's the first thing that popped into my head. I thought, he wants me on the bloody Cutler casting because I was all planning to go this year. Then the whole Ronnie thing kind of, going tits up. Basically threw our sort of summer holiday plans, Olympia plans completely out the window because obviously now you've seen that the Ronnie tour is being rescheduled now and re-announced. Yeah. So Ronnie announced it a few days ago, last Friday.
Go to that. Yeah. So you got some new dates. So guys in the UK, check this out. Here's where you can go. Are they different places than when you originally planned?
No, only 2 canceled. 1 canceled because it was for their 20th anniversary, the gym anniversary. So he didn't want to rebook and he'd had him before anyway. We got Strength Asylum, who had him last year, wanted to rebook him because they said they could have sold double the amount of tickets last year. They capped it at 140, and he said, Giles, I could have sold 250. He said, so if you ever do another tour with Ronnie, he said, I'll definitely have him back. So he booked Strength Asylum's 1st of November. And and obviously the expo, we can't redo that one. So we're taking him to a different expo. So that's going to work. It worked out great in the end, actually. So I'm really, really excited.
Stoke, Glasgow. I mean, Weston Supermare, that's a real place?
Yeah.
Super? The name Super was already there?
Yeah, I used to go as a kid. I used to go to the donkey rides as a kid. My dad used to take us there because there's a big roundabout, rotary in America you call them. And there'd be me and my 2 sisters in the back of the car. And my dad used to take us on school holidays. And we'd be driving round and round and round this roundabout, arguing where we go because each turning was to a different place that we usually go in the holidays. So I was like, I want to go to Western Supermare. I want to go to Barry Island. I want to go to Alton Towers. And so Western Supermare, very good donkey rides. Highly recommend it.
So Bristol, you guys, we have a Bristol, Connecticut. We obviously stole that name from you.
Mm-hmm. It's where I used to go clubbing back in the day.
And we have a Manchester, New Hampshire, not too far from me.
Mm-hmm.
And Irvine is in California, oddly enough.
Is it?
Birmingham, we have Birmingham, Alabama. I think there's a few Birminghams.
Nice. And all these are all really nice gyms as well. The Freedom Gym I've not been to yet, Nebula Gym I've not been to, but all the others, Trident I've not been to, but all the others are really, really nice gyms. Yeah, nice. That's a good thing about going around the country. You get to sort of see, because Chris, who comes and does the merch with me, all the athlete merch, which we kind of all split equally. Yeah. It's like an extra source of revenue for the tours. He has Muscle Lab Gym, and he likes to go around because I think he likes to see what all the other gyms in the UK are up to. So he's always talking to the owners and looking around, looking at brands of equipment and everything. And it's kind of good little learning experience to help make his own gym better.
Right on. All right. Well, we've been going for almost an hour and a half. You probably have to pee your pants right now. So,
and also Prague as well. That'll be announced soon as well with the live stream. So I've just been sorted that out today. So very excited about that. And let's hope we can get one or two more top Olympia guys in that open lineup. So maybe if Sommerfeld doesn't make weight, he can come do the open at Prague.
Why wouldn't he? Or
with a shaved head.
Is there no 212 in Prague?
He could do 212. I mean, imagine that. Thing is, what does he do? Just say the absolute worst happens, and he comes down to 204, and they measure him actually at the weight that he's 197, and he can't do it, and he has to pull out of the Olympia, or they disqualify him. I don't know how it works, because I know another like Fabian Mayer, when he did when he wanted to do Classic at Portugal, and he was a couple of pounds over, he jumped into the Open and got fourth.
Yeah.
You can't do that at the Olympia, can you?
No, you cannot. To clarify, guys, at the Olympia, you have to qualify for that division, even if you're an Olympia champion.
Wow.
Like
Missy.
Yeah, Missy had to requalify. Missy is a 4-time Olympia winner.
Three times.
She won the Fitness Olympia 3 times. She's doing figure this year, and she had to go qualify. She had to win a show. She won 2 anyway, but it's very strict rules and regulations for qualifications. It's not like you can just I'll do this, I'll do that. No. Do
you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. For the Olympia, you want to keep the elite, because we don't want to see 500 people on the stage. Even if they're champions, let's see them qualify in another division. If they want to be Olympia champion in a division they've never competed in, qualify for it. What's wrong with that?
So say like Bumstead last year was weighed. He's supposed to be 242. Say he weighs in, and he's the last one to weigh in, and he's 244. You think you just have him out of the Olympia, would you?
If he didn't make weight for the Olympia, is that saying? Yeah, he can't. Then you can't compete.
Yeah, just say. I mean, say his weight is 242. So just so you would not have him. Would you? Because personally, I'd rather see him just go. Say it's not like a Bumstead, just using him as an example. Sure. Say he was like 1 or 2 pounds over, something happened on the flight and he couldn't get the weight off, and he had a bit of stress and his body's cortisol, and he's 244, and it's like they're shutting down the weight, the weight, the weigh-ins and stuff like that. I mean, I'd rather see him just go jump in the open like these other guys do. I just think, like, say Sommerfeld is just say it's absolutely he's measured at a certain height and there's no way. And he's, then that's it. He's not on stage at all then.
Well, let's say you're in, so 212 would be his next logical option, right? At that point?
Yeah.
If you're a 212 competitor and you had to win a show to get there, wouldn't you be a little upset that they're just letting this guy into your Olympia category who didn't earn his way there?
I don't know why it's different for the Olympia than it is for the other shows, though, the normal pro shows.
The Olympia is the only show out of every pro show that you have to qualify to be on that stage for. That's why. Arnold is invitational, and everything else, it's, you want to be in the New York Pro, you want to be in Pittsburgh Pro, you throw your entry in, you throw your hat in the ring. But the Olympia is the only show you qualify for.
But it hasn't actually happened. Oh, yeah, I see your point. It hasn't happened yet where someone has not made weight at Classic. Not that I know of, or 212. I mean, as far as I know, that every single one of them always makes weight or their height, the classical 212. I mean, I just, it'd be interesting. I mean, I suppose it's never happened. It's never really been an issue. But I think this year, imagine if like 20 of the classic guys aren't allowed to go on stage. I mean, imagine all that prep and all the sponsors and all the people, the family that's flown to the Olympia to be there, and now like, oh no, your height's different, mate. It's going to be a major drama, that one, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what, it still remains to be seen. It's going to be a big fiasco if a bunch of guys are not allowed to compete, because like you said, all that time and money and energy, months and months, just poof. Sorry. See it. Try again next year.
Yeah, but if you're in a show that depends upon your height and weight, and there's a maximum weight you can be, then you have to know your own height. So if guys are going in and they're like 180 and they measured at 183 or vice versa, I don't know how it works. You be like, oh, phew, that was close. It's like you have to know. So there's guys knowingly kind of cheating, isn't it? It is cheating. I mean, I don't know how you can really explain it as anything else.
It's obviously weight is easier to know exactly what you weigh. I think height, it does vary a little bit during the day. We're taller when we wake up in the morning. If you get a chiropractic adjustment for the next, I don't know, few minutes or whatever, you're a little bit taller. And maybe the way they're measuring themselves, because I can measure myself at a doctor's office and get like slightly different heights, if I tried a few different times.
I've been measured 5'11". I've been measured 6 foot. I've been measured at 6'1". I've been measured 181, 183, and 185 centimeters.
There you go. And you're not even trying to make a weight cap.
Yeah.
That's not with a bunch of poofy hair, right?
Well,
no, that's with your actual going to the skin. So you're not cheating. It's just what it is. Yeah. Anyway, interesting, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think about this whole height and weight cap controversy going on with Mike and how it might affect him or some of the other guys. Let us know your top 10. Let us know if you think Tiger and I are the greatest prognosticators. We're just geniuses at predicting, or if we're completely out of our minds, idiots. And who do you think we missed? It's probably fans. You're probably a fan of this particular guy. Who do you think we really underestimated at this Olympia and is going to surprise everybody and definitely do better than we just said they would? We're going to find out very, very soon. It's only a few days away. We'll be doing a watch party on this channel, so keep your notifications on. Giles, thank you so much. I wish we were both there again. It's been a couple of years. I wish we were both there and covering it in person, but we'll be there in spirit, and we'll definitely be here with you guys online on this channel. So thanks for watching Power Hour with me and the Tiger, Giles Tiger Thomas. We will see you next time.